Welcome to the Red Brick Common in Stony Plain, Alberta. I am your host and guide, Alexis Marie Chute. In 1905, the Canadian Northern Railway made its way to Stony Plain, followed by the Canadian National Railway a year later. This introduction of railroads brought significant improvements in transportation and economic prospects, playing a pivotal role in the town's overall development. Israel Umbach, born in March 1867, made significant contributions to the early development of Stony Plain. One of Israel Umbach's notable responsibilities as sheriff was tax collection. When the Canadian Northern Railway failed to settle their tax debt with the town, Umbach took decisive action. He acquired a strong chain from the Opperhauser hardware store and used it to secure the train wheel to the tracks at the Stony Plain station, preventing the locomotive from proceeding until the company paid what was owed. Sheriff Umbach's bold and decisive action not only compelled the railway company to pay its outstanding debt, but also established his enduring legacy as the town's protector.
4 years ago, I received an email from this lady in the US saying she had a picture of the brass statue of Israel Umbach and of the wheel. And the reason I received it is I was answering the emails for the Kinsman Club of Stony Plain. In her pictures were the connection between her and Israel Umbach, and she's the great granddaughter of this incredible person of our town.
I'm Barbara Schaffner. My great-grandfather was Israel Umbach.
I am Stephen Schaffner. He was my great-great-grandfather.
I'm Parker Schaffner. I'm his great-great-great-grandson.
My aunt died in 2004, my mother's sister, and I got picture frames from her. I wrapped them up, put them in a drawer. When we moved to Ohio, I got them out of the drawer, put them in a box. When I got to Ohio, I took them out of the box and put them back in a drawer. And I was getting ready to go buy picture frames, and I said, no, let me look, at what I have. And I went to use the picture frames that had the wheel, the statue of him, and a picture of my great-grandfather and my great-grandmother. And I go, who are these people? And on the back, my aunt wrote what it was. So then I started doing research. I contacted Ed from the Kinsmen, and it went from there.
She was asking for addresses. So I reached out to the town, and of course, being Canadian, we're not going to give them addresses. We're going to take them around. So they rode, I don't know how many days from the US, from Florida and Ohio, 5 days, I understand, to get here. And so we brought them to different places and took them to like the tea house at the museum, and they got to handle some of the artifacts. So I didn't realize this, but the town, at that time, it was the Chamber of Commerce. They actually had, I believe, his handcuffs and his gun, and they got to be hands-on with that. Well, we've stayed in touch, and we get the call that they're coming again, but now they're bringing the great-great-grandson and the great-great-great-grandson. We just say he's perfect, right? That many greats, he's perfect. And they're gonna come in for a few days.
I came up in 2019 and got a tour of everything, and then I brought them back this year.
I was talking to Mr. Greg Hanna, and he told me about you. And he goes, I'm gonna send you a picture of 2 pages where she's writing about Israel Umbach. In your book, we find out they had 13 or 14 kids. They didn't know that. So we did that. I talked to someone else in the community, and they said, you gotta go to the archive room and talk to Joel.
Well, he went to the archives and found me on there.
He found all of us on the archives.
Except for me.
Well, yeah, you're not on there
2005, I believe it was updated, and it has my name on there.
It was written in 2005.
And I didn't even know that was there.
So, yeah, it goes back a long way.
And then he found other
family members at the gravesite.
Gravesite, and he started putting, oh, look, here's sisters or aunts, uncles, or, other family that she didn't even know of at the time. He found it.
We just spent 2.5 hours at the local police station, and here we're talking about all the synergies and the differences of policing in our 2 great countries.
And I retired from law enforcement in Miami, city of Miami, and he is still active
Still
in
law enforcement.
law enforcement in Miami-Dade County.
So obviously law enforcement's like in your blood, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it runs in the blood. There's 17 between in-laws, you know, and between Israel and him, there's 17 law enforcement officers in our family.
Okay, just a very important question. Are you gonna go into law enforcement?
No, not really.
No. Okay.
I plan on going into the military though.
The military. Okay, we've got it on record for the police officers in the family. Woo!
Isn't it incredible just from some words on a picture? You get this connection. I truly believe when you start seeing all of the lines of your family and your community, you start finding out it's not, 7 degrees of separation? It's like 2. If you take the time to talk to people, take the time to have a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love it. I mean, it's family history, and I told Ed, I said, if I would have just taken the pictures out and thrown them away and not looked at them, I'd have never known.
This monument commemorating the historic occasion is dedicated to the Multicultural Center pioneers and residents of Stony Plains on the 75th anniversary of the Providence of Alberta, donated and erected by the Kinsman Club of Stony Plain on July 2nd, 1980.
Well, I can just speak on behalf of the Red Brick Common, formerly the Multicultural Heritage Center, that it's just so amazing that you guys are here. We're so grateful you came to stop by and visit. And thank you on behalf of Stony Plain.
No,
No,
thank you guys.
You guys have been very
It's
polite
been
and
it's been
helpful.
a lot of fun.
So far, so good.